My name is Jessie. Both of my parents died of AIDS before I was 4, and that began my journey into the foster care system. I was bounced around for a couple of years because people were afraid that I would be HIV positive like my parents. I was then adopted by age 5 by a man named Sheldon and lived with him and his boyfriend for 5 very happy years until Sheldon died. After that, I was soon back into the system, moving from foster homes to group homes until I was adopted again by another man named John. Things were great until I turned 18. We then started having lots of fights and John kicked me out. Some nights, I would sleep on his porch and he wouldn't come to the door. I was homeless, scared to fall asleep, cold, hungry, and alone. The only thing that kept me alive, I think, was my music. Sheldon brought me my first violin when I was 5, and I played all through elementary and middle school, and then I was selected to attend Cicely Tyson Performing Arts School. It was there that I fell in love with the cello and met my music mom, Trish, one of the teachers at the school. She and my other music mom, Janet, helped me with so much, including helping me to learn to perform and give me a place to live.
My name is Rebecca, and I met Jesse when he was performing at the same festival as my son. He was living with Janet, who informed me that she would be leaving town and needed to drop him off at a shelter because he had no other place to go. On a whim, I said he could stay with me. My husband and I knew for years about Jesse's musical accomplishments. I brought Jesse home with a suitcase with all of his belongings. With 3 kids, I knew I needed to find him another place to stay. He began to call me Mom after 2 days. Trish, Janet, and I, Jesse's 3 music moms, got together to make a plan for Jesse. We came across Covenant House and brought him there with his cello and clothes. Jesse knew he wanted to get back into school, so Covenant House and I helped him to re-enroll at Montclair State. To help him with income, we rent out his violin to music students, and he works at my weekly chamber music open houses, showing up every week on time like clockwork. I remember going to his first orchestra concert and the pride he felt and the pride I felt. A few months later, I was hit by a car and almost killed. With a broken pelvis and arm, I was in a wheelchair. I worried about who would take care of my children, and Jesse worried about me. In that moment of despair, I realized I now shared something special with Jesse. I thought about how needy he was. He always needed something, and he never had a problem with waiting for it. I learned from Jesse how to wait with grace. While I recovered, I remembered seeing a picture of one of the Covenant House staff finishing the New York City Marathon. I had never run more than a 5K, but at that moment, I decided I would run a marathon. And later that year, I did it. I raised money for Covenant House, and I ran for Jesse. The next year, my older son and I trained very hard with Jesse, and the 3 of us ran the half marathon.
Throughout all of that, I knew that my only way out of homelessness was my music. With Covenant House and Rebecca by my side, I knew I had a good chance. While in college, I moved into Covenant House new apartment program in Montclair. I love living there, and I will always remember the pride I felt the first time I showed Rebecca my new apartment.
That apartment program is a godsend. There's a feeling of love and respect whenever I walk into that program, or any of Covenant House's other programs. The staff always puts the kids first. Jesse has his own space, a bunch of people around Covenant House to support him and the other great young people who live there. It's like they're creating their own safety net for each other for when they leave there. I support them because everyone deserves a place to sleep at night. You can't know that the problem of youth homelessness exists and do nothing about it. That could be my kids.
I'm still attending Montclair State and majoring in music performance. I patched things up with my second adopted father. I held a grudge there for a long time, but then I learned about forgiveness. Without Covenant House or Rebecca, I would still have my music, but I wouldn't have a home. The staff at Covenant House helped me express who I am. They believe in me. Rebecca has a strong, caring heart. She never, ever gives up. She fought for me. In my apartment program, I share so much with the other residents. We share homelessness, yes, but we also share our successes and accomplishments. It's pretty easy to be homeless. What's hard is, once you're homeless, to believe in yourself again. Thank you, Rebecca, for helping me to believe in myself.